Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Main event: Jey Uso has risen to the top of the professional wrestling industry since his WWE Royal Rumble victory earlier this year. The 39-year-old star has been on a massive roll and has become one of the most popular names in the industry. The star recently teamed up with his cousin Roman Reigns to take on the duo of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker at SummerSlam Night 1. The OTC and the Yeet Master ended up with a victory that night. While Seth Rollins' faction ended up with a loss, they celebrated after the Visionary cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on CM Punk later that night. Rollins celebrated his victory on the latest edition of Raw, and after a series of events, his faction ended up taking CM Punk and LA Knight down during the main event. Roman Reigns then made his way out and delivered some blows to Rollins and his group, but ended up falling prey to the numbers game, leaving the show all bruised up. While Reigns was getting decimated by the trio, Jey Uso was nowhere to be found. Just 48 hours after they teamed up with each other, the Yeet Master chose to stay back and watch Reigns get destroyed in the ring. This could leave Jey Uso in big trouble now. Next week's episode of The Red Brand could feature Roman Reigns confronting Jey for his actions, reigniting the heat between both men, which could lead to another OG bloodline civil war in the next few months. Fans will have to wait and see what WWE has in store for the stars next. Jey Uso accepted having gotten complacent at one point during his push in WWE. Following his match at WWE SummerSlam, Jey Uso made an appearance on the post-show and discussed the WWE Unreal episode featuring his massive push. In the episode, the star noted that while he was enjoying all of it, he got a little complacent at one point and needed a reminder to get back on the right path. There's a saying, "Man, it's easy to get to the top, but it's hard to stay there. I got a little comfortable, Us. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't feeling myself, started letting the gas off. I wasn't hungry. Somebody had to tell me that. And when I watched that, running it back, I was like, let me get back to the drawing board. Let's tighten the screws up. Let's get it right." I had no idea they would show that. I'm glad they showed it. Not everything is perfect. Sometimes you gotta get up and go to work. From 24/24 onwards. While Uso has proved to be one of the top names in the company now, time will tell what WWE has in store for him next. The WWE universe is buzzing with concern, speculation, and excitement, because two of its most prominent stars, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, may be walking into a storm they never saw coming. The cracks in the bloodline are no longer hairline fractures, they are splitting open into gaping wounds, threatening to swallow everything Roman and Jey have fought for. And with new alliances forming and powerful enemies rising from the ashes, both men could soon find themselves in big trouble. The fall of the Empire? Roman Reigns has ruled WWE with an iron fist as the tribal chief for more than 4 years. With Paul Heyman as his special counsel and the bloodline at his side, Reigns has defeated virtually every challenger in his path. But lately, the seemingly invincible aura surrounding him has begun to dim. At SummerSlam, Roman failed to appear due to a rumored internal injury and backstage chaos, and it marked a major turning point. Jey Uso, once the loyal right-hand man, had to fend for himself in a high-stakes tag match against Solo Sikoa and the monstrous Jacob Fatu. The match ended in chaos when Jey was blindsided by Fatu, while Solo walked out with a cold glare, ignoring Jey's struggle in the ring. The tension was unmistakable. Jey Uso, the betrayed one? Jey Uso has always stood as the emotional core of the Bloodline saga. He was the first to acknowledge Roman as tribal chief under duress, later transforming into main event Jey. But the cycle of manipulation, loyalty, and betrayal has taken a toll. He walked away once before, but this time, there might be no coming back. In recent weeks, Jey has been getting cheered louder than ever by fans. His promo after the latest SmackDown hinted at more than personal frustration, it hinted at revenge. "I tried to keep us together," he said, "but now I see the game was rigged from the start." Could this mean Jey is planning a final rebellion? The rise of Solo Sikoa? And a new tribal era? Solo Sikoa has been eerily silent, but terrifyingly effective. The enforcer of a bloodline has slowly grown more ruthless, more cunning, and more isolated. But the shocking twist came when Jacob Fatu debuted, and aligned himself not with Roman, but with Solo. This has created a new nucleus within the bloodline, a darker, more violent one. And for the first time, Roman is not at the center of it. Sources backstage have hinted that Solo is being groomed to become the new tribal chief, possibly at the urging of an unseen mastermind. Some speculated could be Paul Heyman manipulating things behind the scenes. Others believe a returning legend, perhaps even The Rock, might be pulling strings. Paul Heyman, the puppet master or the pawn? One of the most unpredictable forces in this saga is Paul Heyman. The wise man has always served the strongest, but is he planning his next move? On Raw, Heyman was seen speaking cryptically into his phone, "They're making a mistake. Roman needs to see the truth." Could this be a hint that Heyman sees Roman's downfall coming? Or is he playing both sides, backing Solo and Jacob Fatu to ensure his own survival in WWE's shifting hierarchy? Jey Uso might not trust him. Roman Reigns might still trust him. But the real question is, does Heyman trust anyone? The threat from outside: Cody Rhodes, Louisianite, and Seth Rollins. While the internal bloodline drama brews, several WWE superstars are circling like sharks. Cody Rhodes, fresh off his monumental WrestleMania victory, has unfinished business with Roman Reigns. He recently cut a promo stating, "I finished my story, but Roman's story isn't over. Not by a long shot." LA Knight, still riding a wave of crowd momentum, has publicly called out Jey Uso. He declared on SmackDown, "You either pick a side or get run over." Yeah. And Seth Rollins? He's warned Roman that his time at the top is borrowed. If Roman and Jey aren't united, and if they lose what little support remains, they could become prey to these top-tier challengers. Could Roman be exiled from his own legacy? One of the most shocking scenarios fans have been speculating about is whether Roman Reigns could be exiled from the bloodline entirely. With Solo, Fatu, and possibly even other Anoa'i family members turning against him, the unthinkable could happen: Roman might be forced to acknowledge a new tribal chief. The consequences would be catastrophic. Imagine a Roman Reigns stripped of his title, abandoned by Paul Heyman, and betrayed by his own blood. A Roman Reigns forced to climb back from rock bottom. A fallen king, seeking vengeance. It's a story fans would be glued to for months. Jey's loyalty tested one last time. But Jey Uso's role is even more emotionally complex. If Solo and Jacob demand he join their bloodline, or be destroyed, what does he do? Choose family, or fight for what's right? Recent vignettes showed Jey staring at his reflection, blood dripping from his knuckles after a locker room brawl. His voice trembles as he says, "I ain't a pawn anymore. I'm not your foot soldier. I'm not gonna let anyone decide my fate." This could be the spark of a massive character shift, Jey standing on his own, or aligning with unlikely allies like Sami Zayn or even Cody Rhodes to dismantle the bloodline from the outside. Trouble is brewing. With a possible civil war looming inside the bloodline, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are not safe. Solo Sikoa is rising. Jacob Fatu is destroying everyone in his path. Paul Heyman may be plotting a betrayal. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and LA Knight are ready to strike. And behind all this? The looming shadow of someone greater. Someone like The Rock waiting for the perfect moment to return and lay claim to the head of the table title himself. Roman and Jey are backed into a corner. Their past sins, manipulations, and betrayals are coming back around. And the future? It's blood-soaked, uncertain, and more dangerous than ever before. Trouble is here. The bloodline is burning. And Roman Reigns and Jey Uso might be the first to fall.